Live from the Scruffy Womp Rat Cantina, this is Under the Twin Suns.
Hello and welcome back to the Scruffy Womp Rat Cantina to talk about Under the Twin Suns with me, Cole, and all of our hosts reunited. It's all of us together. It's great. All five of us. I'm joined by Steve, Ruben, Chris, and Jonathan as always.
Up.
Hello.
And I can't contain my excitement for this leader, so this is what I've asked to be the intro topic. I want to talk about Revan. So I'm just accepting that Revan is coming. If he does not come, I will be very disappointed. But I'm just gonna put it. It's one of the. It's just one of those things that is an essential cornerstone of Star Wars to me. And I think they would be doing him a disservice if they didn't. One of two things: either make him flip like Palp, or forget any. Just give him the heroism and the villainy aspects. Wouldn't that be interesting? No regular color.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick question. For
Yeah.
those who may not be too familiar with Revan, who is Revan?
Revan is the main character of Knights of the Old Republic 1, a very important background character of Star Wars The Old Republic. He is believed to be the most powerful force wielder of all time. He defeated the Mandalorians in the Mandalorian War almost single-handedly and was
Okay.
a great warrior who would eventually fall to the dark side by trying to restore balance to the galaxy.
Okay, then.
Important to note that Knights of the Republic is an RPG, so you get to choose
Yeah.
what happens with Revan. So those characters who decided to continue being the dark side, you have other players who may have chosen to go to the light side. So I hope that FFG represents both sides in some way. If it's getting two different cards, or like Cole said, a flip card. Uh, I hope both sides are represented there. That would be really sad if not.
And as an RPG, you also had control over whether you had the background of being like a scout or a scoundrel, etc. So I think there's also possibilities there of having different, it could be a cunning card, or you could flip it and it could, be vigilance, aggression. I think there's uh, lots of different possibilities for a Revan leader.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Ruben, if you've never played Knights of the Old Republic, you would definitely you'd probably
I
enjoy it.
have it. I have it on. I think I got it on Steam. I just haven't played it. I mean, OG. I haven't. I might have played it a little bit, but I don't remember too much about
It,
it. So it's
it
kind
has
of
not
got that
aged great.
fable. It's kind of had that fable theme, right? Where your decisions impact it.
Exactly. It
Oh, yeah.
was
It's a little tough
BioWare.
now because it's like a 30-year-old game, so it's a little tough
Yeah,
to play it nowadays.
I don't
But
know, man. To me, it's not about the graphics. It's about the gameplay.
It's
It's like
very
the
fair.
story. That
sure, yeah,
that's me. So I'll just be playing like it's an 8-bit game.
yeah.
The story's great, and they did re-release it on um uh, they
Switch.
re-released it with some updated graphics, and I just can't remember what they re-released it on. They've
I
touched
know
it
it's
up.
on Steam. I think it's I can get it on Steam now.
Yeah, that's the original
Really.
version though. I have that one. I think it was an Xbox update, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say it's
Yeah,
on game. I think it's on. Want to say it was on Game Pass
Game
at one
Pass.
point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ruben,
That's,
he's basically just like what everything Anakin wishes he could have been, and then cooler because he had a Mandalorian mask.
yeah.
the Switch.
Yep.
They released it on the Switch,
Oh, that's right.
and they had some updated graphics on the Switch 1 and 2.
Well, I know what I have to buy now. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. I personally, I think that they'll probably go with the flip, but in my heart, I'm hoping that we get a villain slash hero one, like where he's heroism and villainy, and he has no aspect. I think that would be cool.
I don't think that would be too broken either. I think that would be. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, I think it'd be very balanced. I think you'd also do some really fun stuff with that.
Yeah,
Bond
they have a
has some
lot of
great
room
twin
to
sons.
be creative, so I think there's a lot of room for that. With that flip, Palpatine, it kind of gives you the idea of like, okay, they can go different routes with leaders, so it's very, it seems like something they could do.
Awesome. Well, Ruben, I believe you have a meme for us. Play the intro.
I know.
Dun 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 dun. Jar Jar screams. Go ahead, Ruben.
All right, so I don't do too many of these memes because I don't really, it just doesn't. These moments don't happen for me like this until on a grandiose stage here. So we'll be talking about this a little bit later in the podcast, but the sector qualifiers were in Richmond, and I was able to partake in some twin sons. Myself, Steve, and Tyler, and some of the guys from Epic Action were there too to play. But I was in a pod with the FFG organized play guy, Ron Longy, and we had a blast playing. He's just a good guy overall, and we just had so much fun. I never realized that a moisture farmer could be so buff. So let me tell you about how this worked out. So first thing is turn one play. You play the moisture farmer, and just keep in mind I'm running Ray leader and the Obi-Wan leader, so I'm running double blue. And I was able to play turn one moisture farmer and then buff it up with Ray's token, get an XP on it. Turn two, now people are looking at my moisture farmer as a threat because it has restore two, and people don't like me healing for some reason. I don't know why. Uh,
Who could
so
tell?
they start swinging at him, and I was like, okay, well I'll just use Obi to heal the one damage on that same turn, you know. And then Ray puts another XP token on the moisture farmer. Okay, now he's getting a little beefier, right? Swing for two, restore two. Okay, great, this is good. Turn three. Now I have my all the now that opponents are starting to swing at him more. I have to keep this guy around. So what I need to do is I play Moment of Peace, which will give him a shield, as well. And guess what? He's still at two power, so I can put another XP token on him with Ray. So right now I have a three power. What is it? 3-8 at this point. Three
Oh
eight, I think it
wow.
is.
3-7
Three
with a
seven, right?
shield.
With restore shield. I mean, I can't make this stuff up.
That's
Steve was next to me. I'm not sure if he
crazy.
was paying attention to this, but they literally spent one round focusing firing on my moisture farmer. Okay, it
Wow.
lasted 4 rounds because but guess what? They weren't hitting me.
They
So every
weren't.
time they were hit, they were trying to take out this moisture farmer. So basically, turn four, I enjoyed that this moisture farmer got buff, got beefy, had his shield on, and everyone was losing their mind trying to deal with it. And the farmers just trying to tend their crops. They weren't trying to do anything. I was just trying to figure out what was going on. But I did learn something very valuable. Moisture farmer turn one, maybe not the greatest play, but it was the play that I had,
Oh
and it
yeah.
brought so much attention, and yet I still won. Moral of the story, guys. Moral of the story.
That's
So
pretty
yeah.
great.
So my buff moisture farmer that it was just so funny how much attention it drew. So yeah. So there's the meme.
That's a good meme. I appreciate it. I love that card.
Always a big moisture farmer fan over here.
I know Chris loves that card. Ruben and Steve. Let's start with you guys for our main topic because you actually played at the Richmond SQ, and I want to hear about your experiences.
All right, I'll go first because I didn't place as well as Steve. Spoiler. So I was running Bosk Blue, and I was able to only lose twice. I won once and had 3 draws. So my ending stat line was 1, 2, 3, and I thought, hey, this is a good way to complete that stat line. I thought it was pretty funny.
That's pretty cool.
But overall, I had a fantastic time, and everyone that I played against was really nice. I, talked about the our podcast because I was wearing my Twin Sons shirt on Saturday, and everyone, was asking, people were asking about it. I was showing off, what we did and what we talked about, and not only that, but also our league, our local league. But just overall, just had a really good time with folks. I was playing against a guy who's from I believe he's from Virginia Beach area, or I'm not sure exactly where. But his name is Travis, and I was playing against him. He had this. I was playing Bosk. You know, when you put a Bosk and you use the client and you put a bounty on something, you really don't have anything to represent it. So he had these little. I can't think of where he got it from, what the name of it was, but the little porks, right? The little creature guys. He had like a little mini figure of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna use that as my bounty. So every time I put a bounty, I use his little pork, put it on their unit. So I had a good big kick out of it, and he had an extra one. He's like, hey man, you want this? Like, oh my gosh, yes. So that was the highlight. Is that every time I played against any other opponent after that, I was putting a pork on it as to
That
represent
is
my
pretty fun.
bounty. So now I have a pork with me everywhere I go for if I use Bosk. But overall, I had so much fun. Good people all the way around. I think the tournament was ran really well. It was the most, you know, there was like 598 players in the event, and that was the most SQ or the most people who played in SQ as of today. So
That's
really
pretty
good
cool.
turnout. I think the judges did a really good job. I think everyone was pretty friendly. Um, was able to play some Twin Suns, which I was really excited about. But overall, the games that I played against, which was kind of funny, 4 out of the 5 rounds that I played against Villain Blue. I didn't play any aggro decks truly until I got to play a Cad Bane, and Steve sat next to me against that Cad Bane Tarkentown deck. But it was just overall I had a blast, and I think my final my final place was like 351st place. So. Uh, and I'll leave that to Steve now, who did a lot better than me. So
I completely mirror your feelings as well. It was a great event. Some great people. I met a lot of awesome people. I went into it with Kira Datavolt, thinking that I might be like one of 20 people, but I ended up being like one of like a lot more than that, playing Kira Datavolt. I went. My first round was against Sunny D from Northern Virginia. He's been playing Han Green since it was legal to play, and he absolutely wiped the floor with me. Um, and then I proceeded to win the next 5 matches to go 5-1 into the last round, where I lost to another Han Green and finished day one with 6-2. So I was able to make it into day two. Uh, Played a lot of different stuff. Like I played a lot of Han. In total I played against 3 Han Greens and 1 Han Yellow, but I did get to play against an Afra. I was the gentleman Scuttlebutt from Golden
Really?
Dice podcast. Yeah, uh, played against him. I played a gentleman who was uh, who was playing Sabine Yellow, but he had a different flair to it. Played against a lot of different things other than Han, but the format, the meta just looked incredibly healthy. Um, Day two was awesome. I got there and round one got paired against Akira. It was Akira Mir, young guy, and he was great. We had a very close match. We milled each other out all 3 games. The game three, I was able to stick a relentless right in between his restock vigilance play that he was going to do, and was able to squeak that one out. And then lost round two to a Quinlan player. I decided to drop and play some Twin Suns and get some Twin Suns in, and so I joined a pod with Tyler. Uh, there was a gentleman named Russell he was in the judge program, and then it was a new player, Christiane. And if I get these names wrong, I am so sorry. I'm terrible with names. But Russell was great. Christiane was a new player. I think it was like her second time playing Twin Suns. We had a great match. Ended up not being as good as Ruben's giant moisture farmer man, but uh, we all, had a pretty good round. And then I got to play another game with Ron and Christiane, Ron from FFG, and that was really fun. Uh, Kind of like swingy. I could tell that Ron was not like trying to bully the table, but at one point he was convincing Christiane to just beat the crap out of me with her Sabine deck. So that was kind of fun. But I managed to win that one by sheer luck. And
Sheer
yeah, just
determination.
a great event. Yeah. I was playing Flip Palpatine and Lando, and was able to kill Ron with the Palpatine flip, doing 2 damage. He had just enough health to be able to kill him with that. That was pretty cool. Um, really, the only thing I regret from the event was one, I didn't get to play against anybody from Epic Action. I really wanted to play Twin Suns with those guys. And two, everybody was so nice. And as Ruben pointed out, like people were giving away stuff. Like there was a gentleman I played who was from Pork Depot, and he had this dice tray that was really cool. It said Pork Depot on it. And I said, "Oh, that's really neat." He said, "Yeah, you want one?" And just gave me one. And he gave me
Wow.
some tokens that he had made. The gentleman from that I played that was from Golden Dice Podcast. All of his guys, if you beat them, they gave you a poker chip with their face on it. You know, just like
Oh, that's
really cool
sick.
little knickknacks things that you know. So I feel like next time I would want to bring something, to make it fun. They had some players that were actually dressed as the leader that they were playing,
Oh,
which I
that's
thought
kind of
was really
fun.
cool. I sat right next to a Mando player who was full Mandoed out with a Grogu and everything,
That's
and he
sick.
said, yeah, when the player across from us said, "If you're not playing Mando, I don't know why you're here." He said, "No, I'm 100% playing Mando." Uh, so like I said, it was a great event, met some great people, and 10 out of 10 would do it again.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I saw the Mando guy on Reddit. That was pretty funny.
Another guy dressed as Wedge. He's playing Wedge.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I wanted to go as Kira, but I didn't think they'd let me in.
I didn't think it was appropriate.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull it off.
You'd be surprised.
Well, that sounds like a great time overall. I'm sad I missed it. I had a family thing I had to attend to, but that sounds like you guys had a good time. And let me ask you, how was the prize wall situation compared to the Denver stuff we had talked about a couple weeks ago?
It was very good.
Uh,
Okay.
I thought
I,
because of, in my opinion, based off of what I saw, Denver day one and Liverpool, and then Denver day two, like the mats and everything were 1,000 tickets, which are I got the value out of playing Twin Suns. You know, you get 200, what was it, 300 for just playing in the main event, and then you get what was it, 100 for playing the Twin Suns. And I'll just kind of just throw this in real quickly. Me, Tyler, and Kennedy, we were working trying to do a pod for Twin Suns, the last on demand, and something happened where we got lost in the shuffle, whatever. But they end up taking care of us and giving us an extra 100 tickets. So by the time I was done with everything, I got about, I don't know, I had like maybe 1,200 tickets. I ended up buying what I wanted to get, and I gave the rest to Tyler. So I think the tickets, I just got them from Twin Suns, playing Twin Suns. So I won one pod, and then me and Raul split the second pod. So I got just 700 tickets just right there.
uh, for me, I didn't. I made out well, but I feel like it was more luck than anything. Playing against Ron, if you beat him, he would give you a mat,
Oh, that's
and
sick.
uh,
Yep.
so Ruben and I were both able to get mats. But the Twin Suns event was $30, I believe, right? 26 or $30,
No, the
and
first one, the on-demand ones were 15, and the other one was 25.
right, yeah, the one we played in was like 25, and they give you 400 tickets, and if you win, you get 400 tickets, and if there's two games, so if you had to win both games, you get 800 tickets, which I got 1,000 tickets for just getting to day two. So like
Right.
I didn't feel like I mean 800 tickets I didn't think equated much to $25, but maybe it did. But I feel like if Ron hadn't been there giving out the mats, I don't think it would have been worth it. Um, to be honest, I didn't really wasn't really feeling that, but uh, the prize wall was okay. They had some cool stuff there, but um, nothing that was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. Like the promos looked really nice, but the only complaint I had there was that they were all heroic. There was no villainy
Yeah,
from
that's true.
there.
Yeah, that's a good
They
point.
were all, and then I talked to Ron about it, and he said that they chose those leaders because two of them are competitive, and the rest are more like twin sons playable. Which I don't know, like, didn't really quite understand what he was trying to say with that because I feel like some of them were, I mean, more than two were competitive. They had Chewie, they had Red 3 was one of them.
And Han.
Um,
Hmm.
Han, yeah, there's like there were some competitive ones in there, so I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I think too, like, this was their, they're adapting to what happened of the last other SQs, and I think that, as this is season 0, right? So I think as they get more and more feedback from folks of this, I think we'll start to see better prizes. But I think overall, from my experience, for what I put into it, I think I ended up getting 2 sets of those promos with everything said and done, and I immediately put them in my Twin Sun stacks, and that new Obi-Wan is sick. It just looks
Yeah, the
good.
black
So
one.
it's just like,
Yeah.
It does look
yeah,
really good. Yeah.
dude, that's like right in my Twin Suns deck. It's like, okay, cool. So yeah, it's just that Twin Suns swag is what I look at it, because for me, yeah, I won't be using those in like competitive decks because
Right.
it just, I just want to put them in my Twin Suns decks. But yeah, I agree with that too, Steve. We need some more
I
villainy
look.
stuff.
I looked at poor Tyler. He played both Twin Suns pods, and he walked away with 100 tickets because our first pod we split the 400 between all of us, and just played for fun, and he didn't win the second one, so he walked away with 100 tickets, and for $25, it's kind of rough.
He got
But
200 more for me, so he balanced out
oh, he
somewhere in
did.
there.
Oh,
I
nice.
gave him 200 tickets.
Ron made a deal with me that if I gave Christiane, the new player, my tickets, then he would let me get a mat, even though I was going to get a mat anyway.
Nice.
I
That's
ended up
cool.
giving away my.
Sounds like you guys had a good experience.
Yeah, we had a good time.
It's great. All right, let's move on to some interesting stuff. Warning, warning, spoiler, spoiler, warning, warning, spoiler, spoiler. We're gonna talk about Set 5 spoilers. Some stuff came out this week. We have a lot here. I'll just go ahead and say the one that dude, as I have foreseen, is just triple dark raid, but better, right? Like,
I
Yeah.
mean, hold on, just
It's
to
funny.
so you know, it's cunning, so it will be suspended.
it will be banned immediately. But yeah, no, I look at the top card of your deck. You may use the 4s. If you do, play that card. It costs 4 less for 1. That's.
Yeah,
I understand you may
all
not be
that.
able to get the. You're not going to get the force on your first turn. Maybe you can. We haven't seen all the cards
I was
yet.
gonna say, I could see a turn one just Hail Mary that thing. Like maybe I'll hit a
Dude.
5-drop.
That'd be crazy.
I I think there's some, if you've got cards with abilities to let you adjust and manipulate what your top card is, this is going to be better. So I don't think it's quite as potent as Triple Dark Raid, because it could be a dud. But otherwise, I'm all about this card.
I wonder if this means we'll get another leader that'll be similar to Thrawn that Ruben used to really like to play. Because,
Yeah.
like you had mentioned, like this would be good in Thrawn, but Thrawn doesn't necessarily benefit from all the Force.
Right.
Mhm.
Because if you've got a unique unit out and then you look at the top card of your deck and it's one of the unique units you've already got out, or do you really want to play that?
Yeah, that's a
You
good
may,
point.
there's just certain situations where this is not going to be. It's not a Triple Dark Raid, in my opinion.
I don't know. I got a flashback to it, so maybe I could be completely wrong here, but I did see that and I was like, this is gonna be a broken card. This is gonna be a problem.
If there is like a Sith version of Yoda coming as a leader,
Oh, there could be.
then we've got a problem here.
I could see a
But,
yellow Palpatine.
right.
Yeah, one that's strategizing and looking to the future.
Well, I mean, we already have a yellow Palpatine at Star Sidious, but I guess I mean like the third Palpatine.
Right.
Another one that we saw was I know we all saw this and just went, oh, it's just better Moisture Farmer. Owen Lars. He's great. He's a 1-drop like Moisture Farmer, but instead of Moisture Farmer, you're still gonna get Restore 2, but you're gonna get a 0-3 instead of a 0-4. And when defeated, you're gonna get to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a Force unit, reveal it, and draw it. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, turn 1, I'm just thinking Twin Suns. Turn 1, Moisture Farmer. Turn 1, Owen Lars. Yeah, I like the restore action. Yeah, I could live that. But the win defeated effect is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it depends on what kind of deck you're running. Thrawn can make you double up on this on,
Yep.
Thrawn 2 on this to get 2 effects of this. Depends on what kind of force deck you're running. I mean, it's very doable. I like this for my hero deck that I would build with this, with all the force units, with Yoda. So I really like this card. I think it has such value in it. Because yeah, Restore 2 is nice, but man, that win defeated effect. Yeah, go ahead and kill him. I'll just start looking at some cards and drawing cards. We love to draw cards.
We do love to draw cards. We love playing Game of Cards.
Let's sack Owen to Palpatine so I can find Anakin.
Dang.
There you go.
What
And
were you gonna say, Chris?
for the new set, you've got to have those force units in order to keep those force tokens up. So that when defeated here is super critical and important.
I wonder if we're gonna see cards, because there's none that we're gonna talk about yet with the spoiler. I wonder if there's gonna be like a unit that is a force unit, and just when it enters the battlefield, it gives you the force, because that would be a game changer. Because
You got that one that's like it does 2 damage and you get the force. It's only 2 resources.
Ooh. Okay. That's pretty good. Another one that we saw this week was Plo Koon. This is pretty. I like this. But losing grit when you don't have the force is kind of concerning. But it's a 6-drop, 6/8 Plo Koon Force Jedi Republic. While the force is with you, this unit gains grit. I like it. You know?
I mean, he's beefy. I mean,
Yeah.
he survives any 7-drop that tries to swing ambush at him. And if they do swing and they miss, that means he's gonna be swinging for 13. I'm just saying. Just think of something like that. Like
you're right. You're right.
How beefy Plo Koon could be with that, especially if you put Sentinel on him. I mean,
get some upgrades.
Yeah, dude, this guy's wicked. I mean, for a 6/8 Force Jedi, I mean, those are really good keywords, but the Republic also adds some stuff there too. So, yeah, but one thing that we noticed, and FFG's even studied this, the power is going up literally in these next sets because this is a 6/8 for 6 is just wow.
I noticed the toughness is going up. We've seen a lot more toughness 6, toughness 7s.
Yep, because they're changing the power of it, and they even said that. They're like, hey, we want these cards to stick around a little bit longer. So if you see a 3-drop that's got a 3/5 stat line, that's pretty good. That's kind of where they want to go with it. So
And
yes,
correct me if I'm wrong, but takedown is just too easy to take things out if you can ping it.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Yep. Takedown is, yeah, exactly.
And it's not like, I'm not saying takedown's overpowered. It's not at all. But as the game progresses, if we get more health, that'll make removal. Yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. I'm not saying takedown's overpowered.
I just look at any removal that gets announced in the set. I'm like, that's all I want.
That's
all I care about.
Ruben's like, yes, clap. Yes, more.
Exactly.
We also got the Scythe, which to me the most interesting tag on that is that we have actually a tag for Inquisitors now, and obviously we'll see that in the next card too. It's a 4-drop red-black Imperial Vehicle Transport Inquisitor, 3/5. On attack, you may give another Inquisitor +2/+0 for this phase. It's not bad. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not bad.
What's the card? I can't think of the name. Keep fighting. You can just ready it and then swing again and make another guy beat.
Yeah.
Like you could literally bump
Yeah,
it
that's
up
pretty.
twice.
It's very. Yep.
I mean, that's aggro, right?
Yeah, that's aggro as all get out.
You can untap it with your Grand Inquisitor.
And you can untap it with your Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah. So there's. Ooh.
He's gonna be a thing. And then let's just keep on rolling. Then we got the third sister. Play a unit from your hand. Oh, well, it's a leader. Action. Play a unit from your hand. It gains hidden for this phase. And hidden is the new keyword that means it can't be attacked for this phase unless it has Sentinel. And then on her leader side, she's a 5/4 5-drop with hidden. And on attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden. That's not bad. It's interesting.
It's interesting. This will be something to watch and see what you do with it. But just in comparison, we were talking about how units are getting beefier, and so when we look at Plo Koon, who's a 6'8", and she's a 5'4", but
Mm-hmm.
I think the interesting piece here is the hidden mechanic. So we'll have to see how this hidden mechanic works and how it does. Because she's going to come in hidden, so she'll be able to do 10, right? As long as you take initiative.
Yeah.
So it'll be, we'll have to see how and then she'll be able to give another unit hidden. So it'll just be how you play her and what you do with her, I think, as to how she works out. But she's not going to stay on the field long with 5'4".
Yeah, that
No,
was my other concern.
I think if Kylo's lost every fight that he's gotten into 5'4" most of the time, he don't stick around long.
No. So I guess we'll see about that one. That one I'm a little bit underwhelmed by. And then the other one that we're going to talk about next is probably also a little bit underwhelming. An Obi-Wan leader. Action, use the Force. Give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. And then on his leader side, he's a 5-drop, 3/6. On attack, you may give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. The only reason this is so interesting to me is that it's almost a one-to-one of the resources, the toughness, and a similar ability to Rex. So this would almost integrate perfectly with the way I like to play. And one of my favorite cards is General's Blade, Command, and Hu Yang, and I love putting all three of those together in a green deck, so that's the only reason this looks interesting to me. But objectively, I can see that, yeah, this is kind of underwhelming.
I don't know. I don't know about that. It just depends on if you're thinking of Twin Suns or you're thinking of Premier.
Fair.
I think this will be a lot of fun in Twin Suns.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
I think even with your Rex deck, if you played a Rex with Obi-Wan, you could just start beefing up all your clone troopers
exactly.
every
no.
time.
And it doesn't cost you any resources.
Yeah,
I see your point.
I like it. I think. I mean, again, is it Premier worthy right now? We don't know yet because we don't know what else is being released. But I think I like its ability. I like his ability on attack. You can give any token. I mean, anybody can get one of these, so you can just pass them around.
If they don't already have one, it's going to depend on how easy it is to get the Force.
Yeah, that's the question that remains to be seen.
Yeah, if it's equal to having an experience counter.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to wait and see what else comes out. I don't like the limitation that you can only give 1 XP to a unit. That makes him less viable than Ray, in my opinion, and he doesn't have the restore.
Aren't there cards though that let you move upgrades?
Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that is correct.
There's that ship, the one that when it attacks, it does that.
The Krennic shuttle. There's also Rose can move things around.
yes.
There's a bunch of options. Jonathan's completely right.
What about the defeat an upgrade, gain a shield?
Ooh.
Finn's leader
Yeah.
ability can do that too. Defeat a friendly upgrade on a unit, and if you do, you can give a shield token to that unit.
Oh,
So there's possibilities.
In Twin Sun,
Sorry.
yeah, it seems interesting.
sorry, Jonathan triggered something I wanted to say before I forgot. Shout out to Tyler, man. He came up with this really cool Twin Suns deck where he was playing Poe in Finn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was piloting ships with Poe and then sacking Poe to Finn to give him upgrades.
Yep.
That was really cool. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's really cool. Shout out Tyler, big fan. And then there's one last spoiler we'll talk about, and this is probably like the coolest one. Just objectively, because it looks the coolest. It's one of the prestige cards. Grogu. He's a 3-drop. He's heroism only, mysterious child. He's a 1/6 with the Force. He's hidden, and his action is heal up to 2 damage from a unit, and if you do, deal that much damage to a unit. Good. I like it. He's cute. What more is there to
Yeah.
say? I want this card
I
when it comes out. Like, I'll buy this prestige card if I don't pull it. I want this.
it's a gorgeous card too, and I think that his Grogu's ability is pretty impactful. It's just he'll. Here's the best thing. Like I look at every card, and I know like we talk about Twin Suns, and this is all I think about when I see it's like, how can this card impact Twin Suns? Heal up to 2 damage from a unit, and if you deal that much damage to a unit. So you basically can go around the whole battlefield and just do all kinds of shenanigans with it. And healing is pretty. And he's got hidden.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I just he's like, okay, you're gonna. It's like even his Grogu, the was it Shadows card
Yeah,
where
the shoe
he's
drop.
got 0/5. He's a target, but he does these really cool things. The fact of having 2 Grogus on the battlefield just seems warm and fuzzy for me, and I dig it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this one.
Agreed.
Dude, you give him a lightsaber,
How
he's a
impactful do you think
powerhouse.
AoE spells are going to be in this with all the hidden characters?
Yeah, I am curious to see what kind of removal we see.
Like Bloodsport.
Yeah, that's all I care about is the removal. Once I start seeing that, I was like, okay, cool. I'm sorry, that's just what I look
No,
at when
that's
I
what
see
you
cards.
love.
Blue,
Yeah.
blue villainy or blue removal. Because remember, Vanquish and Takedown and all these fun cards are going to rotate out, so we need
Oh
need some more
no!
replacement.
No, I'm just kidding. What'd you say, Ruben? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Just
Yeah,
removal.
rotation. Wait, and correct me if I'm wrong. We're not getting rotation until set 7 comes out, right?
Yeah, March.
Okay,
next
that's what I
March.
thought. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have that wrong. But yeah, Ruben, I think you get to continue the conversation with our lore co-earner. You've picked a card this week, have you not?
I have, and
Excellent.
for someone who is not a huge lore guy like Cole and Steve and Chris and Jonathan at this point, anytime I realize something when I see a card and I see a show or movie about it, I just get all crazy about it. And I might have talked to you guys about this before, but our listeners haven't heard this part. But the card is Mace Windu Party Crasher. So the movie is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And one thing that I learned about this card was when I saw this in um, saw the movie again because again I don't I watched the movie before, but now that you start to see these Star Wars cards, like okay, this makes sense now. So whenever Mace Windu was basically he just sliced off Jango Fett's head, right? And
Yeah.
he said the party's over. This party's over, right? And I was like, oh my gosh! And it just like had that aha moment for me, right? I was like, Party Crasher, Mace Windu, I get it. And I just had one of those moments where I was like almost spit out my drink because it was so funny to me. Like, I was the only one watching the movie, so I was just like cracking myself up over it. But for me, I just thought it was the greatest thing because the way FFG has created this game, but they also put these fun little, I wouldn't say just flavor text, but just flavor naming conventions, I guess, if you will. Um, that when I saw that, it was just a really cool thing for me. And again, I'm not a lore guy, but it really made me give a nice nod to FFG for that. But additionally, talking to Cole about this too, I learned a lot more about, I went down was it the Wikipedia sources, and I got a couple interesting facts. And one thing I knew about this, but I didn't really know the true meaning behind it until I kind of dug it a little bit. So when Samuel L. Jackson was, got this role for Mace Windu, he asked George Lucas, "Hey, we have this big arena fight scene with all these Jedi," and I was like, "Hey, I want to be able to find myself in the scene." So he asked George, "Hey, you think I get a purple lightsaber?" And he's like, "I'm like the second baddest Jedi in the universe." So I thought it was kind of funny that he asked him about that, and because he's gonna go on this battle and have this purple lightsaber is pretty cool. But then I dug a little bit deeper. I was like, tell me more about this purple lightsaber thing. So I had no idea about this. So, who how do you say it? Is it Hu Yang? Is that how you say it, Cole? Hu
Correct.
Yang?
Yeah.
I had no idea that this was like Hu Yang was the one who helped him kind of build this lightsaber as a youngling, right? And I was like, wow, because Hu Yang is a character that as a card that you play a lot in your Rex deck, and I was like, I had no idea that there was that relationship there, but also that getting some more facts about it that apparently people were asking like, hey, was the lightsaber that he used in this movie supposed to be in what he did for Clone Wars or for whatever? But they come to find out that the Star Wars encyclopedia said that Mace Windu basically had two lightsabers. So again, just looking up into all this stuff, I thought was really neat. And the Hu Yang thing was one of those moments I was like, oh wow. So there's so much more about Star Wars that I don't even know, and every time I discover something, I just think it's kind of cool. So for me, I think this is really cool. The fact that they put those two and two together, especially the Party Crasher, and then his quote in the movie was "This party's over," kind of goes hand in hand. So for me, that was really cool, and it was one of those aha moments that I really enjoyed.
Well, that was awesome. It's always cool to watch Ruben get really deep into the lore. Yeah, Hu Yang's thousands of years old.
And there's also lots of talking about Mace Windu. There's been lots of fan speculation on if he's really dead and if he will come back.
He was Snoke.
That's been coming back up because apparently there's talks of a Mace movie or TV show coming. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, that fall, quote unquote fall.
No,
I mean,
no,
that was
no,
a
no, no,
pretty
no, no.
tall jump. You know what I mean?
It
Like
was
unnaturally.
but Steve.
I mean, and if you've watched the cartoon Clone Wars, you've seen Mace Windu drop. I mean, like straight up, like we're talking like out of the atmosphere and
Yeah.
land on his feet. Like, nah, he ain't dead. Ain't no way.
Yeah, Samuel in interviews has said multiple times only his arm was cut off. He is not dead.
My other piece is in the Vader comic series. I think we talked about this a couple months ago because I was crashing out about how much I hate Commander Fox. In one of the panels of the comic series Darth Vader, we can see a list of Jedi that Palpatine believes survived the Purge. And we see in a cutoff panel M.A. That's good enough for me. Very short string, but I'm making it work. And before everyone's like, but the list isn't fully proven. It's not, but Jocasta Nu was on the list, and now she's dead. So once again, very light string, but it's there. Awesome.
Jocasta Nu, a Star Killer.
Oh, yeah, but no, now it's that her master actually killed her.
I know. But
Yeah.
in my head canon.
In my head canon, yep. Dude, I love The Force Unleashed. Awesome. Well, thank you, Ruben. Thank you for enlightening us. You guys ready to hear me?
Sure.
You guys ready to hear me crash out? It's Market
go.
Report. Cole's Market Report. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So something that was interesting that I talked to Chris about this week is this is actually going to be a relatively boring market report. Because we're at I didn't realize it. The reason my market reports have been so interesting over the last month is I guess you don't realize it's happening when it's happening. We had such major things happen back to back to back to back that affected the market. We had the bans, we had the SQs, and we had a new set release. So all of those things impacted a lot of movements throughout the market over the last couple of weeks, and now it's finally stagnating to the point where it's kind of like the meta's kind of being established and the cards that people are playing are being played. But there are some things that have moved this week. Some of the biggest movers are Avenger has gone up to $25. Poe is $41. Super Laser Blast has moved up into the $15 range from, I think it was about $5 a couple weeks ago. The original Devastator, the green one from set 1, is holding steady at $20, which it was stuck at $8 for the longest time. And this is an interesting one. We have Planetary Bombardment and Devastator who are racing to new all-time lows, both at 15. Next, the Obi-Wan SQ promo you guys were talking about was at an all-time high of 190, and now with more supply hitting the market, it's down to about a $75 market price. This is the one that was funny. Triple Dark Raid is now $1. I will repeat. Triple Dark Raid is now $1.
Man,
Get 'em
pick
while they're
those up
hot.
if you don't have them. Yeah, exactly. If you don't
Literally,
have
pick them
get
up if
those.
you need them. Commandeer also dropped hard this week, down to $3. I didn't think that one was gonna hold at 10 constantly. It's like Ruben and I had said. It's the most common rare. The reason it's coming down is just it's probably the most common rare pulled. Well, it is. So that's why that. Cad Bane is down to about 1750. I guess he's falling off a little bit, but he's still kicking around. I know capturing is a mechanic that's kind of taking off again. Couple of the this is not financial advice. None of this is important. I'm stupid. I know nothing of what I talk about. I have no degree or certification to talk about these things, but they're shiny cardboard, and the SEC has not considered them assets yet. For buys of the week, Ayla Secure is about $4 a card right now, and I think that's a really solid pickup for any Jedi deck that you're looking to make next set. Jonathan had brought this up last week. Grievous is sitting at $4 a card, and if it's true that we're going to be up to like 25 lightsabers, he will finally like have a relevant position in a Twin Suns deck because you'll actually be able to get him to do the cool thing. Maul from set 2 has actually come down to about $5, and once again, I think that's just going to be a really good Sith to have in your Sith decks. And if you want to run some Underworld. And then my sealed product of the week. I've been saying it's Twilight for a while now, and I want to tell you guys something differently. These set 4 pre-release kits are about $20 a piece, and there's some really solid power stuff in there. Yeah, that's all my Star Wars updates. Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I think that's a really good price for that pre-release kit.
Yeah,
right? So
I
typically
wholeheartedly agree.
$5 a pop. That's $30. That's like a $10 savings there. And just what if you pull something good? And we know
Increased showcase
pre-release
rates.
exactly pre-release kits. You seem to get better pulls for some reason. So yeah, that's a really good value.
Yeah, I think that's the go-to for this week. I fell down the dark side this week. I've gone back to Magic. I saw the Deadpool Secret Lair, and it was sick, so I bought one. Tarkir is still going crazy. Like, who doesn't love dragons? I don't know if you guys saw this. The Final Fantasy Commander deck started getting listed this week, and they're about $100, which at first I was a little bit upset, and then I watched a full breakdown of the videos. Do you guys know why the Final Fantasy sets are so expensive?
Are they all foil?
No, it's the licensing issues. So the collector boxes that normally will cost your shop about $150 to $175 wholesale, dude, the collector boxes for Final Fantasy, if you're getting them wholesale from a good distributor, they're going to cost you $3 to $350 a box as a store. So now I much more understand the $600 price point. I'm a lot less irritated about it because now we're finally getting this transparency. I guess my point is the Final Fantasy is going to be really expensive. Unfortunately, it's because of the licensing rights, and there's nothing that the shops are doing wrong. There's nothing, arguably, I might get burned at the stake for saying this. Arguably, there's nothing Wizards of the Coast is doing wrong. It's literally the licensing rights, and it's gotten so bad, guys. I don't know if you saw this. The set that we're getting in September, a real, like, full Magic set, is the Spider-Man set, right? They could not get the licensing rights cheap enough for them to put it on Arena. So, fun fact, all future Marvel cards in Arena will be in there, but they will not be Marvel cards. They're going to be creating a paper version of it for Marvel cards and a digital version for Arena because they can't get the licensing rights.
Interesting.
So now if you're a competitive Magic player, you not only have to memorize 300 something new cards, but 600 because they're different on Arena per set, which is a crazy thing.
Explain that to me. Repeat that.
Yeah. So let's say you have Spider-Man in your Magic the Gathering deck. The Spider-Man will be printed in the collector box and the play boxes that you can buy in paper. If you log into Magic the Gathering Arena when that set comes out, there will not be Spider-Man packs. I believe it's called Path of. Let me make sure I got this. Path of Spider-Man MTG Path of Through the Omen Path, excuse me, will be the name of that set. So instead of having Spider-Man, you'll have a different card called where is it here? I'm sorry, I'm going to use a different example. You're going to have Green Goblin, and then there's a Green Goblin card that is called Cackling Demolitionists. They do the exact same thing, down to the tags, down to the words, down to the everything. They are the exact same card, but they have different names and different art styles because Wizards of the Coast was not able to get whoever owns the printing rights. It might be Disney. I'm not trying to be... I think it is Disney. They couldn't get the rights to have the cards digitally because they saw it as both a Lorcana competitor and a Marvel Snap competitor.
So what you're saying is we have Green Goblin at home.
We have Green Goblin at home, but not online, yes. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yes. Thank you for clarifying.
Nuts, right?
Okay.
That's my reaction. The irony here is that they're trying to use Marvel to get more people into Magic, but I don't see how it's appealing to have to memorize 600 different cards. However, unfortunately, I think the Spider-Man cards look sick, so I'm probably gonna buy a box. Do not do as I say. Do not do as I do. Do as I say. But yeah, that was an interesting thing that I kind of wanted to put out there for all the people who might be upset about the Magic pricing. And yeah. All right, finally, for Pokemon, there's no changes this week. Almost virtually nothing. Nothing's different. Here's my opinion. Play the new Pocket set. It's great. The new Pokemon Pocket update that came out yesterday is really fun, and there's a lot of new good cards. This is the big story. Anything you guys plan to buy over the next 2 or 3 weeks for TCG, you should put it on a list on your phone and wait until May 16th. Because on May 16th, TCG Player is doing a sale much similar to the Black Friday sale, where everything you spend on TCG Player, you will get 10% back as a credit in your account.
Nice.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I've been just keeping like a list of every time I think of a card I want to buy. Ooh, I need one of those. I just put it on a list, and I'm waiting until May 16th for a giant sale. Yeah, any questions about what I've talked about so far? Thoughts, concerns?
Nope, excited for the next part.
Oh yeah, I know you are. So this is just because Jonathan and I and Ruben used to play this game, and I'm kind of... Dude, I can't take Altered. It's ridiculous. Okay, so this week they released the Marketplace update and the print-on-demand update to their website. Remember, this is a game that requires you to use your phone, and the app doesn't fully work on your phone. Fun fact. So if you try to do this on your phone app and go, Cole, there's no market on demand, that's because it doesn't work on the phone. You got to go to altered.gg.com. So, as you guys may or may not know, one of the things that Altered wanted to do that was different than all the other TCGs is instead of printing foils, you can get a foiler card in your packs and then choose which cards you want to foil. Now, what they did not mention is that in order to do a print on demand, you have to order a minimum of 20 cards, which means you need to have a minimum of 20 foilers, which means you need to either pull them or buy them. So the foilers that you need are at least 30 cents each, which is low, I think, for how rare those on the rare ones and the unique ones are, and we'll see a price shift on that. I'm also curious to see how the cards look with their print. I have concerns. They're also doing print runs where instead of you individually, they'll print it for you. They run the printers all at once and do every single order in the country at once. Which I can't possibly see how that will go wrong. Can you guys?
Wow, that's...
Some of the Kickstarter cards are selling on their marketplace for over $50, so they've decided, we need to reprint those cards. You know, something they said they would never do in their Kickstarter. So anyone who supported them on Kickstarter, it's a middle finger to you, I suppose. Yeah, so one segment I wanted to ask you guys about for a mini video is put it down below in the comments because I still own a couple altered cards that are worth over $5 according to the marketplace. Do you guys want to get a video and see how it works and watch me mentally anguish myself and try to figure it out? If that would make you laugh, please comment below. I think it would be funny.
I guess I'll comment because that's.
I guess I'll comment because I want to see it. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. Listen. We've been waiting for these features for. When did we get into this game? June.
Early in the year, right?
May. Earlier than that, I can't even remember.
Was it last year?
It was last year.
Yeah, it was
sometime.
last year. I want to say like at least 9 months ago.
Yeah, so my point is that those apps features should have been out by now. They still don't work great, and I'm just curious to see some reviews about it. And I just wanted to crash out about that because that's something that was just fascinating to me this week. Yeah. All right, well, thank you all for listening. Let me know below if you like this segment, and let me know if you want to see the altered video because I know you guys like to see me crash out on things, and I can almost guarantee you I'll crash out on that website. But yeah, Jonathan, our favorite segment. Name that card. Jonathan?
Alrighty. Order. Let's go. Chris, Cole, Ruben, Steve.
Neato.
Okay. What are the aspects of this card?
This is a. Why am I blanking? Cunning heroism. There we go.
I'm going to ask my favorite new question. Is this a weekly play promo card?
This is a promo card.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Oh my god, I think I know.
Let me just. I'm just
race
gonna
begin.
go with it. I'm just gonna go with it because why not? Is this the Han Solo promo card?
This is not Han Solo.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Ruben's like, it was fun to play.
Hey, every once in a while, you gotta swing.
Mm-hmm.
Steve.
I was having a hard time getting unmuted. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not Han Solo. And we're pretty sure Cole just knows what it is.
No, I'm lying.
Oh, okay.
There's so many yellow heroism.
Well, you know who doesn't know? It's me.
I do know one card it's not.
This is really tough because I don't know any of them. You know what? I have a feeling that Cole does know what it is, and he's ankle breaking me. I have a guess. I'm gonna say Grogu.
This is not Grogu.
Dang it.
2 cards down.
Dang.
I know y'all are making all these guesses and being wrong. I'm not going to guess like that.
I think that's a smart decision. I think that's because I don't know what it is.
YOLO, man, YOLO.
Yeah, but then we let Jonathan win 3 weeks in a row. Then we.
I'm going to.
I just know that Cole just knew it. You know, I had a feeling.
Well, I'm going to ask for more information. Is this a unit?
This is a unit.
Okay.
Is this from set 3?
This is not from set 3.
Well, that was a stupid question. Yellow heroism unit.
Not set 3 unit.
Not a set 3 unit.
I feel like oh no, it is a unit. I had an image in my head of what I thought, and it ain't that. Mm, um, um, okay, now I have another image. What was it? I'm going to guess.
Okay.
We'll see. I will either be disqualified or, oh no. I can't remember. I'm going to guess it and we'll see. Is it Infus Nest?
This is not Infus Nest.
I have one question left, right, and then I can guess.
You have one question you can guess. Yep.
Yeah, what are the tags?
Piloting.
No, that's the keyword. Tags.
Oh, hey. My bad. Force Fringe Pilot.
Force Fringe Pilot.
Now I know
Yep.
what it is.
I still don't know what it is.
Yeah, I feel really stupid.
I know what it is. Can I guess?
Yellow
No,
Heroism.
alright.
Force Fringe Pilot.
Oh, I do know what it is. Ah, damn it.
You sit down right next to me, Steve. You get no more guessing.
I know what it is though.
Yeah, should ask more.
Dang,
I'm so stupid.
It is a weekly play promo, though.
That it is.
I just listed it on my TCG yesterday. I know exactly what it is.
Wow, Oh, it's Baby Anakin. Crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know it.
I thought like when I was like, oh, I know what it is. I thought it was R2 at first. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at that. I get to choose a card next week.
Yay!
Yay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the longest episode of Under the Twin Suns in recorded history. We hope you enjoy and let us know what you think below. Take it easy. Enjoy life. And bye-bye now.